Hi everyone, and welcome back to Berry Patch Lifestyle. My name is Tracy and you are working on day 19, good for you, of Yoga Fundamentals for Beginners. So for today we're going to be working on 5 postures that all start very similar, exactly the same actually. We're going to be doing a mini cobra, a sphinx, a full cobra, an upward facing dog, and a bow pose. So we're going to start down on our bellies today. Hopefully you have your mat ready. I'm sure if you have the video on, your mat is ready already. We're going to just get there however we can, down onto our mats. Everything's gonna happen down here today. The first thing we're going to work on is called a mini cobra. So you can see my feet are flat. My whole body is flat on the mat, and I have my left cheek, not by accident, on the mat as well. You're gonna have your hands just under your shoulders, pressing nice and flat and strong. We're going to lift our heads, turn your gaze down, and now you're going to push up. I shouldn't say push up, pull up, because you're not actually pushing through your hands, but you're pulling up just a little bit, barely moving up through your back. So if I move my hands, I shouldn't fall down because I'm not using them to push into, okay? So we're just gonna lift up ever so slightly, gaze is down. You can keep your hands lifted to make sure you're not pushing down if you like. Shoulders are back, and we're gonna breathe here 3 times. And we'll come on back down. Place that left cheek back on the floor, on your mat, and we'll breathe here now 3 times. Nice and full. Last one. Now turn your gaze down again. We're going to do the same thing all over again. So with your hands down or up, just pull up through the back a little tiny bit. Little mini cobra. Three breaths. Last one. Come on down to the mat again, but this time turn your cheek to the other side. I'm going to keep mine this way so I don't have to turn away from you. And we'll take those 3 nice deep breaths again. You can release your hands to your sides if you like. We're going to bring our hands back, and this time we'll bring our fingertips to the edge of the mat. And we're going to have our elbow meet the mat, and our shoulder is going to be just over top of our elbow. Hands are flat as can be. And this is called the Sphinx pose. So really you're just supporting yourself, you're making sure you're not shrinking into the pose. And we're just going to breathe here again 3 times. Enjoy the rest. Now, slowly and as you're able, we're going to move this into a full cobra. So we'll push up through the hands, our feet and legs are still flat. We're gonna push through our hands, keep a slight micro bend in the elbows, and we'll raise our gaze to where the ceiling meets the wall. And what you wanna be really careful not to do here is shrink down into the posture. So you want to be not like a turtle, or keep your turtle head out of your shell if you aren't being a turtle. But really we're supposed to be doing cobras. So we're cobras, we're proud and strong. Everything is up, we're looking up, and we're going to be taking 3 breaths again. You can feel this through your back, through your arms. We're strengthening both of those areas. On your last exhale, come on back down to a Sphinx pose. Just like in Egypt, super strong. Those things last forever. Don't know if we will. And then one more time, we're gonna push back up into that full cobra. And then we'll release. So for the next one, we're going to do an upward facing dog, but I think what we will do is we're gonna push up through onto our knees, and we will move into a downward dog first. Just do a little bit of a counter stretch. We're gonna pedal our feet because it's our first down dog. You should be really good at this one by now. And we'll lift our heels, press them back down, and then we're gonna move through that chaturanga again. So hands are nice and flat. We kind of move into plank, and we lower ourselves down. So you can come all the way down if you like. And then with your hands at either side of your shoulder, you push, and you can come all the way up. You see my thighs are coming up off the mat. Come all the way up, and you can look up into the sky. And stay there for 3 breaths. Let go of that. You can see where that might get confused with cobra. It's kind of similar. Our hand placement is a little bit different. So our cobra was kind of out here, and our upward facing dog, our hands are beside us. So we're gonna do that again. We'll push up through our plank, move into the downward dog, and we'll do it a little bit differently this time. So if you liked that way, you keep your upward dog that way. I'm gonna pedal those feet again. Push the heels down. Look up between the hands. We're gonna move back into our plank. So now this time, if you choose, you're in plank, you move slowly down. You do not bring your whole body down. Flip your toes. Keep everything up off the mat. And we'll have 3 breaths here. If you liked it better the other way, where your body was down on the mat, then that's the way you do it. So I'll flip the toes again, and I'm gonna push back into a downward dog. I'm gonna do that one more time, just in case you didn't quite notice what was happening. So pedaling my feet, raising the heels, pushing them down, looking up between my hands, coming through to plank, lowering slowly. I kind of move forward to flip my toes, and then back to upward facing dog. If you like, you can come all the way down, and we'll just push back into a child's pose for a moment. Just giving that back a little bit of a counter stretch each time. This is an arms active child's pose. And I think we're gonna move through one more way to get to upward facing dog. Everything here is very similar. We're in a downward facing dog. We'll have our knees meet the mat this time. Bring our knees, chest and chin down, and then push to upward facing dog. Thighs are still lifted, still looking up to the sky, not shrinking down. Everything's very strong. And you can release that. Have your cheek meet the mat. And we're gonna do our last pose, which is gonna be a bow. So for this one, you're gonna lift your feet, keep your thighs placed on the mat. You're gonna take your hands and just grab onto your feet like that, okay? And then we'll be turning our chin down, and that is the beginning of our bow pose, okay? So from here, turn chin down. You can raise your legs up if you like.
We're going to see if we can raise the front body as well. The key here, let that go for just a moment, is to not let your legs kind of splay out. That's what they're going to want to do. They're going to want to kind of spread apart like that. So you want to try and keep your legs not glued together, but just keep them kind of where they were when you had them straight. So feet up, grab the feet, and then they come straight up from here instead of splaying out. Okay, so we're grabbing onto our feet, nose comes down, and now we lift up. And see how high this can go for you. If you inhale, you're going to notice you come up just a little bit farther, and then you exhale. Inhale. And exhale. I'm looking out just straight in front of me. You can have your gaze slightly lower if you want. And exhale everything down, let it all go. We're going to do that one more time, remembering to turn your cheek to the other side next time. Just have a breath here. And another. Lift your feet again. Thighs are on the mat. Grab those feet. And if you want to just kind of lift up, from your legs, that's okay. But let's try, if we can, to bring the whole body up. Inhale, exhale. Last time, knees are together, not together, but they're kind of pushing together. If that makes any sense at all. Like I said, you just don't want them splaying out. So last breath. And release, put your head to the other side, probably on your right cheek now. And we will take 2 breaths here. Place your hands on either side of just under your shoulders, on either side of your body. We're gonna push up through our knees, put our feet together. Knees go to either side of the mat. Come on down for a child's pose. Take 3 breaths here. Come on out of that. And that is it. Those are our 5 postures for today. Practice, practice, practice. And I will see you tomorrow for meditation. And then the next day will be our last long practice. I say long, but it'll be about 45 minutes. All right, everyone take care. I'll see you then.